Live, direct, New York, the city. There it is out there. See new, super tall, or maybe this, yeah, I guess probably the super mass closer. Whatever it is, there's something big and tall over there. New, ish. Well, there's one of the big and tall shit here. You can still see the Empire State. Let's see if I can get it in here. It's poorly. Empire State. That's gonna go behind the green soon. And spring comes. It's technically the first day of spring. Doesn't feel like it. Rarely, spring is rarely on the 19th, but it's a leap year. And we got some product. We got Tyler here, chilling, and some Strongworks, some Doubleswanhook belts in sterling silver, and let's go. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. And nothing crazy new here. Well, we got the, a lot of belt for a lot of money. It's your call if you want to go there. And we got some Strongworks, 4 colors. Restock. You wearing them?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do a 360 this time. We're gonna do a spin around Tyler. We're gonna. Yeah. We're spinning too. Look at this dude. Strongworks, really straightforward. Work cloth pant. Well, it's not work cloth, but work pant. Get you in the light, give you the proper view, calibrate. This is dust olive?
Yep. And then I actually hemmed it just about an inch.
An inch? Alright, so Tyler's hemmed version, 1 inch hem.
Yeah.
Any tailor can do that for you.
And it's size 30.
Size 30, 6 feet, 165 pounds.
About
what, you gains?
No. Less.
Oh.
162.
Alright. You got the Ozempic working?
Should I try it?
I have no idea. Any chance that Tumble Pig works? We haven't planned any Tumble Pig works. Here comes Willie. Willie, should we Tumble Pig these works?
What was the question?
What do you think about tumble pigging the works? Oh yeah, the chair got put downstairs.
No, I'm in game mode.
Oh, game mode. All right, action, boom. Wow.
Yeah, no, I think that'd be great. Why not? Wait, Tyler, these look so good on you.
Thank you.
Yeah, the tricky thing, we got to do some digging. There's been some confusion with, but when we tumble pig them in New York, they don't come out well, or in the bomb tool doesn't come out well. But there is a chance. I don't know. There's been a lot of confusion on this.
The bomb tool doesn't come out well?
In New York.
Oh, in New York, because I have a pair.
What?
I have a Bombworks pair, and it's awesome.
Oh yeah, the bomb twill in Portugal tumbles great, and there was some confusion. We got to double check. The tumble in New York definitely does not come out good. It's not doable, but we might be able to spray them. There was miscommunication, I think. So we're still trying to sort it out. We were under the impression for a while that the spray wasn't good either. But, for this type of fabric, it works great on a cotton twill. We're both wearing caps. People want to know if it's a sign.
What's yours?
My hair is just super long and big, and I just needed to wear.
What do you talk about? Tyler guy talking like he got super long hair.
Feels long. Feels long for me, so that's why I'm wearing a cap. No sign of anything, just the feeling.
All right. So Strongworks not a new problem. It's a product to restock. Made in Manhattan. Strong twill is, it's just that strong yet soft, like the epitome of it. There's that twill structure. That's black. Here we got the wine dark. charcoal action over here. You can see So what you're looking at, these are the yarns. That's the twill. All that diagonal is the twill structure. This is actually on the cross grain. I have it rotated here. I'll rotate it. So this is the grain line. And so you get that, you know, basically 2/1, I think, is this twill, right? Is it 2/1 or 3/1?
Yeah,
2/1. So your denim's 3/1. This is a 2/1. Classic twill. It creates that diagonal. And here it is on the dust olive. Well, if it focuses. Come on, you want to focus.
Is it left-handed?
Doesn't want to focus. There we go. Right, and that's what creates diagonal, right? You get 2 up, 1 down, 2 up, 1 down, and that gets you a diagonal structure. Raw cuts nicely for a woven, and it just makes a really classic workwear type fabric. And then the secret in here, when we zoom in, you can't really see it, but if you zoom in another level, like if we had the power, we used to have that digital. Man, it really doesn't want to focus on this color.
I think it's at my office.
Yeah, but it always ran out of batteries and shit. It was like, basically, it was like a high maintenance machine. But if we zoomed in another like similar level again, like you could see that each of these yarns has about 212 fibers in it, and they're super thin supplex yarns, which is nylon 6/6, and it's air texturized. You see how it's a little fuzzy, right? This doesn't look like shiny like you might, like some people think of nylon. This is air texturized nylon, and so it's crimped essentially, right? It's like shot with air and then creates like a crimped zigzag pattern. It's a filament, right? But it's like basically like a big wave, and there's 200 plus in each yarn. They're all twisted together. And you get something that's super strong, but it also has this sort of secret softness to it. Quietly bomb-proof, right? And here's some regular nylon we can zoom in on, and you can see how it's like a little less fuzzy and like has a little more reflectivity to it, right? This is real classic proper. Actually, don't know if I'm assuming this is nylon 6, which is the most common. There's a chance it might be 6/6, but I'm assuming this is nylon 6. They don't spec it, and when they don't spec it, it usually means it's nylon 6. This is cool. There's a paracord right there. So yeah, what more can we say about the works? It's just really straightforward.
Yep.
Cut. Oh.
I mean, yeah, that's the kind of styling feature of it. This came from, well, number one, I think it looks more slimming, like when you have that line, which is,
so what we're talking about is this sort of, this in cut on the pocket, right? So, there's some pants that will have like, the pocket, this line usually goes straight up here to the waistband, and the pocket will be over here, and sometimes they'll move the pocket back to this line. But we went the other way and moved the line to the pocket.
And so, what this really came from is like just that perpetual pocket flare thing that I am at this point convinced is going to be present in some level when you're wearing a pant. And so this was like kind of like my solution for it, was that like when your kind of pocket is on the side seam, exactly, it kind of, and this kind of flaps up a bit, you get extra volume here. But for example, if you just had your hands in your pockets and it's sticking up a little bit, whatever, and it's right here, it doesn't actually add like visual width to the side of your body. It like, the parameters are drawn here with the inseam moved in a bit.
Yeah, so here's Tyler. You can see, and basically, like to his point, right? So like the pockets need to like have just a little bit of flaring, otherwise it'd be too hard to get your hands in, right?
Yes.
If the pockets were flush to the pant, like it would work with a stretch material, like a high stretch material, not even a light stretch material, but this is a two-way stretch, right? Which doesn't really feel stretchy. It's more like an absence of restriction, right? Is how to think of two-way. Generally, there's exceptions, but so you need like that little bit of space so you can get your hands in, but it looks nice and flattering on the body. Is Strongworks slimmer than the Bomb Dews? Yeah, it's a little bit slimmer than the Bomb Dews. Yeah, Tyler thinks it's a lot slimmer than Bomb Tees. Yeah, it's like kind of like this is like not really a loose cut in most people's vocabulary anymore. It's looser than the slim, compared to peak slim pant era. There's a little bit of looseness that's been added in, but this is certainly not a big pant by 2024 standards in any way, shape, or form. If I put them on, I feel like I'm wearing skinny ass jeans.
You can't put them on.
Willie's like, you can't put them on.
Sorry.
No, I'm not allowed.
No.
I'm out. What color, Tyler? You're wearing dust olive, yeah?
Yeah.
Dust olive. Dust olive. Here it is on the table. There it is on Tyler. Do we have questions? Other questions that I might have missed? Oh yeah, the pairing. We should talk a lot about the pairings. So, we just figured out a better way to do pairings in Shopify. And so this one comes with a cut 0 pairing. The code is ZeroWork. If you want to buy this with a cut 0 t-shirt, the Daybreak or the Push Pull, both experiments. So it's for people willing to take a little risk, but you get a nice pairing as well. There's a link on the page to follow to fill it in. You put the code in, all that stuff, and yeah, you can save a little bit of money by pairing it up, and it's a great pairing. What else do we got? Question-wise, clean. Oh yeah, details. So you got your there's a pocket there, right there. Dime pocket. You can fit at least a dime in there. You got your lightning, your 30mm lightning over here. You got this really nice modified welt. It's like, what do we call it? Single.
Well, it's like, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know
Yeah.
if there's a belt. It's like top applied me, like, usually this layer would come over this.
Yeah, it's like a reverse welt in a way.
That's a good, I'm not thinking that.
But often welts are both ways. This is a one way, and it's like often, the welt is usually full of the other way, right?
Someone wants to hear you talk about strong twill versus bomb twill.
Strong. Okay, I'm gonna go on camera. Strong twill versus bomb twill. They're cousins. Maybe they're siblings. They're siblings. They're definitely siblings. They share a lot of the same DNA. In fact, the warp direction of the fabric is the same. They use the same warp, right? So that's 212 strands of Supplex nylon 6/6 air texturized, twisted together in each yarn, right? It's the same warp. And then the difference is in the weft. And they use very, very similar wefts. The difference is that the strong twill uses about the same 212. There's an elastic wrapped, right? So there's elastic in the core, 212 strands wrapped around it. And the bomb twill uses about 50% more, about 330, something like that, in that zone, 300 plus. So you get 200, 300, right? So 50% thicker in the fill, in the weft, right? And so that's the structural difference between the two. The effective difference between the two is that the strong twill feels more like a chino type fabric, right? So it works better in chinos, light pants. This is a work pant. It kind of straddles the difference. Whereas the bomb twill feels more like a denim. It has more structure, right? That's why we developed it, right? We were like, we love the strong twill, but we want to get it like a little more crunch, a little more structure, a little more stand up to it. So by putting these thicker yarns in, that's how we were able to do it. And that sits more in like your denim space, your jacket space, right? So we use the strong twill for like kind of like over shirts, light jackets, and then chinos. And then this is like kind of workwear pant that kind of leans toward a chino. That's why we went with it. But since it's a workwear pant, it kind of straddles the line, and then, so there's the denim space with the bomb twill. So it's a little heavier. It's 300 versus 360 GSM, right? So it's 20. What? I think it's 300 and 360. Pretty sure. You can check on the site. 300 by 360, so it's obviously like that's 20% heavier, right? And so there's a weight difference, there's a structure difference. You get a little bit of a softer feel with the strong twill. because it's not quite as dense, right? So it doesn't quite have the same structure. Where it's a little softer, a little drapier, and so that's the difference. What's dropping next week? Fingers crossed. Let's talk about the belt, right? Unless there's anything else. Oh, we should look at the belt loops. It has like, this is kind of the signature workwear. Like these fat. What are these? 2 inches? No, they're not 2 inches. No, inch. Something like that. Fat belt loops, and we went through the other details. Supplex. This is supplex pocketing. This is like your standard supplex. We use this, but it's like we actually looked at like a really like serious pocketing supplier recently, and our pocketing's better. But yeah, we got right here. This is the luxury piece. Jewelry piece. There's no justification for the price. If you don't want to buy it, don't buy it. It makes sense because it's very fucking expensive. But what you get is a lot of customized belts. So I'm wearing one right now. See it here. Doubleswanhook belt. People want to know what size Tyler is wearing again. Tyler is wearing a size 30, 6 foot, 162 pounds. Boom. There's another size check on Tyler. Back to the belt. So you get a case. I mean, you get this whole thing, right? This is the presentation. That's what you get. You get one sterling silver, 925 per mil. Silver, right? So that's 92.5% silver. I didn't know that there was a difference between per mil and per cent. But it makes sense. Cent is like the century, right? Same root per 100 and a mil 1,000. But in a sterling silver world, they like to use per mil, right? So they talk about 925 parts per, so 925 parts per million silver, and then I forgot what the other. You can look up what sterling silver is. The other blends, very classic silver, obviously. We could call this. It comes from the 3D printers. But what they actually 3D print is not the silver itself, but one of the steps in the mold process. So it makes it easier to make jewelry and serious silver pieces, but it's still cast in plaster like traditional silver jewelry. It's the Doubleswanhook, which you guys may or may not be familiar with. We've done it in nylon 12 here. Tyler's gonna open it. And yeah, you got your hook, and we call it the swan hook because if you look on the side, and this wasn't actually intentional, it just kind of emerged. Our logo is a black swan. This is a silver swan with no head, but you can see the neck and the wings, and it just sort of emerged there. And so it's a really simple piece, and you can lace paracord or any 4mm cord really through there, and adjust it by pulling. And it's it comes with, there's a lot of options. So we make a lot of custom paracord, and here you get lots of it. And it's interesting, we didn't put disrupt in there, and I don't remember why we didn't, but you get your this is a relatively new one, the Auberqua, right? Auberqua, the aubergine and turquoise. This is not custom, black. But you got your Midnight Lightning, Nightshade, Water, on green. I forgot what we call that, tan green something. You got your on coral. You got your Coral Lightning, olive coral, tan coral or something, tan blue. I'm not sure. But all told, 12. Boom. And silver. And yeah, it comes with this little case to keep your paracord organized. So again, 11 of these paracords are custom. You could try and design them yourself, but it'll cost you close to what the whole thing will cost you. Well, maybe half. And this way you get 12 colors, 11 of them custom, plus custom sterling silver Doubleswanhook belt. Can this paracord be used for zero shoes? Yeah, that's actually a really interesting, good question. So I talked to the zero shoes dude once, and I haven't done it, but it should be usable. What you want to do is take the core out. So he said essentially like what he uses is not exactly this, but he at one point tried to source it like this, which is basically like the circular outside of the paracord without. There's 7 strands of nylon inside. You got it right here. We need to cut it. Scissors. We're gonna do it right now. So Tyler's gonna. Oops, let me switch around. Tyler's gonna open the paracord, and so you can see there's 7 strands of nylon in the middle there. This is rated for 550 pounds, right? It's paracord 550, so you can hang on it. Paracord comes from parachutes, right? And it's mil spec. Well, it's not mil spec with these colors, but it's basically mil spec. And so yeah, if you take all that out, then you can take this here, and it now kind of flattens, so it's like circular and soft, but also flattens. And this is extremely similar to what goes into a zero shoe. So if you have zero shoes, you can relace them with this uncored paracord. Good luck getting the core back in if you want to use it as a belt again, but it probably still works as a belt. It might not. It's kind of like half the thickness. Like you might need to double it up or something. I don't know. You might be able to use this as a belt after you do that. But yeah. So shout out to Zero Shoes. Trying to think what else to go through. I guess people can see the belt on me if I give this to Tyler. I want to shoe check and all that shit. Yeah, I mean, here you have it, right? This is how I wear it. I like it in the center and then off to the side. You can cut it, and again, like you saw, if you just want to heat seal it if you cut it. So we use like a hot cutter, but if you just put a lighter to the end, it'll seal the ends and they won't fray. So you can, if you want it shorter, some people wear these shorter, like George wears it shorter. But yeah, it works. The 2 strands works shockingly better. Joy doesn't want to hear this, but in my opinion, the 2 strands is deeply transformative versus 1 strand. We sold single strand belts too, but I find 1 strand like cuts into you, but 2 does not. Right, distributes the weight.
There's room for everyone.
Yeah. Everybody's got their different choice. We've done single strand sterling silver Swanhook belts too. So there you have it. But it's priced like jewelry because it's made like jewelry. The real thing, right? So like, we can go through the process, right? Like we get it through the 3D printer, which makes the plastic part, the nylon 12 part for us too, and it's dramatically cheaper. It's still more expensive than like giant mass production. But when it gets to the metals, the precious metals in particular, because they have some ways with aluminum, laser sintering and stuff. We've done that too. But with the precious metals, what they do is they 3D print this in wax. And I've never seen this in person, so forgive me if I get some facts slightly wrong. But they 3D print this shape in wax. They cast plaster around it. They melt the wax out, and then they melt the silver in, and then they break the plaster, right? So it's a single-use mold, right? Each one. So it's not like they make, like if you make like a hard metal mold, you can use it over and over again. These are like, each mold is made, right? The wax mold is made for each hook individually. A plaster mold is made individually, and then the silver goes in, the plaster is broken, right? And they have to restart again. They have to make another wax, another plaster, reset, right? So that's part of the reason it gets so expensive. Silver itself is not like the most precious metal. It's a lot cheaper than gold or platinum. Costs a lot more than your aluminum or whatever. But it's all that processing, and then also like these facilities dealing with precious metals need a higher level of security, and like all that kind of stuff adds up too. So again, we're not saying buy this. It's $550. It's $555, but you get a lot of custom. You got a little bit of a jewelry piece, and it's up to you. Let's zoom in on these colors again. So black is not custom, and there you can see it. This one, wow, you can really see the details in here. It's cool. This is the Midnight Lightning, so you can see it's like a mixture of, like, Lightning is not, we didn't develop the Lightning itself, right? It's available, you can buy it. There's a couple different flavors different companies sell. very similar things, but this is like a blue flecked lightning. And when you pull back, right, like that, you can see how that blue disappears, but it tints that color there. We're going to zoom in here on the nightshade. Nice color there, purple, gray, black. Water is a classic. One of our early disrupt patterns. Ungreen is another disrupt. And you can, when you zoom in, you can see that there's actually this aqua in there that disappears when you pull back or fades away. And now you have the tan and green. This is the lightning structure. We basically use two structures. This is the lightning structure here, and then this is the disrupt structure. The disrupt structure we actually developed ourselves. As best we know, we're the only people that developed this particular structure, and we really like it because of the way it kind of like breaks up the eye, but also molds the colors together. So it's got that sort of camouflage disruption energy, but at the same time, there's still something you can read there. This one's losing focus. There we go. Tan and blue, lightning structure with the tan and neon pink, and then the olive version. Very similar, but like, you know, just changing one or two colors, radically different effects. And then this is the coral lightning. I forgot what we call this one. And last but not least, another disrupt. This is the uncoral, which if you get really close in, like we're doing, you can see is really a combination of oranges and pinks, right? When you pull back, like, you know, it reads a little more pink than orange, but it's coral, really. So there you have it. And there's that double swan hook, and with another swan on the back. Alright, these are all supposed to go live in a couple minutes. I don't know if people have questions. Me, Willie, Tyler. Tyler, you got a question?
If a belt was going to be included in the pants.
Is a belt going to be included with the pants? The Duckworks had them because roughly like, you know, we have the Duckworks, it was an experiment. It was kind of cool. People talked about it a little bit, not like crazy. But it's partly an experiment, partly it's just like when the pant gets over 300, it becomes pretty feasible for us to include it. When it's under 300, we're trying to keep pants under 300. We're not trying to keep them under 200, which is hard these days with the materials we use, obviously, and the facilities we use. So yeah, basically, like, we might do it again for more expensive ones. I don't foresee us putting belts in with anything under 300 anytime soon, but bigger, more flourishing pants might get belts. Strongwork colors, yeah. I mean, let's go back, take a look before they go live. So you got your dust olive, your black, your wine dark, and your charcoal. I think these are all in the last batch. We're still working through the same batch of fabrics. So there you have it. All right, anything else? Any last words, Tyler?
No.
No.
Enjoy spring.
Happy spring. It's the first day of spring officially, Willie. Yeah. That's a nice looking throw. Yeah. All right. On that note, I'm out of here. Enjoy spring, everybody. On that note, lots of spring stuff in the works, coming in the pipeline. We're very hesitant with dates because when it gets down to the wire, you know, like there's customs to go through, there's little things, lots of details, so things can shift. But lots of stuff in the pipeline, tons of injected linen, tons of new ways, and some surprises, of course, new materials, all kinds of good stuff. So stay tuned, lots more coming soon. Peace. Later.